In this Arc Raiders video, I'm going to be fully breaking down all the out-of-raid systems that you're going to need to know about to get the leg up on launch day. First thing we're going to take a look at is the Raider tab. This is going to have your skill tree, your customization, trials, projects, and also the Codex. Taking a look at your skill tree first, this is basically the skill points you gain from leveling up. Currently in the server slam, for example, the max level is 15, so I got 15 skill points. So far from the playtest in the server slam, the mobility tree seems to be the best one to start off with. Not only do you get things that make you climb things faster, slide further, faster, whatever, you also get some things to increase your stamina overall. So this makes movement cost less stamina, and also you can get more maximum stamina overall. And there's a whole bunch of different things as well that I'm highlighting here that are quite good overall. So definitely going down at least the beginning of the mobility tree is going to be huge for giving you better overall movement and just quality of life. Now, there are some interesting things in the survival tree that I'm actually quite interested in for launch. So I just unlocked this one that allows you to craft things in raids. It's going to allow you to craft things like shields and whatnot. So if you're actually in a raid and you find the right components like rubber parts and also the arc shield alloys, you can actually use this to craft a shield regenerator for you in game. Actually quite useful. You also have things in here like to make you loot things faster, make less noise, and so on and so forth. There's quite a few different things that you're going to see here that are going to be very, very interesting at launch. The conditioning tree is also going to be very interesting because something like use of the weight is going to make your shield not slow you down as much. So basically, if you didn't know, your shields have different values. So the light shield is going to give you no reductions to your overall speed, but something like the medium shield is going to give you 5% reduced movement. And then obviously the heavy shield is also going to decrease your movement. So this particular perk, when you max it out or level it up at all, will reduce the amount of speed reduction that you're getting. Another one that's going to be quite interesting to get is going to be loaded arms. So this one's going to make your equipped weapon have less impact on your cumbrance. So right now, if you were to have basically these two weapons on, the Torrent and also the Renegade weighs 10.75 pounds and the Torrent weighs 2.5 pounds. If I were to take one of these off, you can see that my overall encumbrance is 35 out of the gate. If I took one off, then yes, it's going to drop by that. So what that perk is going to do is allow us to have our encumbrance be lower. Don't know the exact number, but that could be quite a useful one in the end game. Overall, to be clear though, my priority when I go in on launch day is going to be the mobility tree. I'm going to go up this left side quite a bit, maybe jump into some sliding stuff overall, but I'm going to go up this left side for sure, maybe get up to this one to carry the momentum. And then I'm going to go down the survival tree quite a bit to get this one where I can craft things in raid and then also go from there. And then I might dip into here for conditioning. So basically mobility, survival, conditioning. That's pretty much the order I'm going to go in. Next up is the customization tab, and this is really self-explanatory. You can deck out your raider with whatever outfit you want. There are paid versions and free versions. There are going to be some from decks, so you're going to have quite a few different things you can choose from. You can customize your backpack. You can add trinkets to everything. There's also a way you can adjust your appearance again if you don't like the way your character looks. You can put different emotes on. You can actually customize Scrappy by putting a hat on him, which is pretty funny. You can also change his color and whatnot. So the customization system is going to be pretty in-depth, and there's going to be plenty of things you can do in the game. There's also another tab in here called Trials. Trials are to be completed every week. These are harder challenges that come in multiple difficulties, and if you perform well, you'll be ranked in Speranza's Raider leaderboards. Every week, new masteries and rewards will be available. So again, you're going to be able to use this to be able to compete against other players, get ranked up on the leaderboards, and it's going to be quite good for people who like to take their gameplay to another level. The next tab over is going to be projects, and basically projects are going to be a self-wiping system or self-restarting system. In the full game, players will have access to a feature called projects. At level 20, the first major project players will have access to is the Expedition project. Upon completion of this project, a character reset is available. If a player completes a reset, they will be able to do so again as long as they complete another of these projects. So again, these projects are going to require specific materials. You're going to be able to do this every 8 weeks, and it seems like you're going to be able to do multiple within that time frame. Don't quote me, we'll see when the actual game fully releases, but from what I read there, it does sound like it. So when you do actually restart your character, you lose everything outside of cosmetics and things that you've purchased, obviously. So you're gonna have to start fresh with a brand new account, basically. Now, the benefits of this are as follows: permanent account unlocks for each expedition, unique cosmetic rewards for completed expeditions, account buffs that are applied for the duration of the following expedition cycle, and sequential completions of expedition projects increase the magnitude of these buffs up to a limit. Now, again, until we get the full game, we're not going to know the true extent of these expeditions, what we can earn, the buffs we get, and all those various things like that. But so far from what it seems like, it's mainly cosmetic things that you keep, and you got to start fresh with a brand new character. So You can do this if you want, but you're not required to do this like other extraction shooters. So it's not a full wipe system for the entire game. It's literally just you personally if you want to do it. There's also a full codex in this game. Basically, this is pretty self-explanatory. You're going to have this as a resource to be able to refer to for lore, things of that nature. One thing I'm wondering if they're going to do is very similar to Killing Floor 3, if they're going to actually add the feature where we can see enemy weak points or enemy weaknesses, because that was actually pretty cool, and I hope that they give us a little bit more detail there. But as far as we know, it's just going to be information based, like lore and things like that. The workshop tab is probably going to be the most important thing for you to focus on in the early game, because it's going to give you a huge advantage because you can craft so many things from resources that you find when you're topside. Simply put, again, you're going to have workbenches, gunsmiths, utility stations, and some other things that we didn't have access to in the server slam, like the explosive station, the gear bench, as well as the refinery. All of these are going to be able to be upgradable here once we actually get the full game. And then again, we can construct all sorts of different things like weapons, ammo. We can also construct healing items, gadgets, all sorts of different things. So it's going to be very important that you level this up as much as possible. You can actually track the parks for leveling up. Here, there's going to be another button very similar to this track resources button that I'm pointing at right here in the bottom right. And this is also going to be available for when you're leveling up as well, to be able to track the various resources that you're going to need. Crappy is also going to be able to give you various resources, and he will be upgradable with this train button. So that's going to be actually quite useful. You can recover these after every raid, or you can just let them build up over time and then just recover them. But the main thing is that you always want to be recovering these, so that way you can have those resources available to craft various items. One extremely cool thing about this game is that you can find blueprints while you're topside. So basically, for example, if you hit a blocked room, or if you just find a renegade rare blueprint out in the wild, all you need to do is extract with it, learn it, and then now you can construct a rare renegade at any time you want, given that you have the materials here listed. So that's actually a really cool feature, because that's going to completely expand this list outside of just upgrading it. And you're going to be able to craft certain things like rare items in the game, like gadgets and things like that, also rarer attachments and things like that. So it's a really cool feature and something to look forward to when you're actually going topside. So I can't stress this enough. One of the main things you need to focus on early is building these stations and upgrading these stations as much as possible. It's going to give you a significant advantage, because you're going to be able to make better gear. You're going to be able to go in with better gear and have a better advantage over the other raiders, and you'll have resources flowing. You're not going to be short on medical supplies, because that's a premium, especially early game. And also, you're not going to be short on weapons and gadgets and things like that. So really focus on the workshop early game. There's a full trader hub as well, where you can buy things and you can also get your quest. So basically, if you go up here to the top, you can press the quest tab and you'll see what quests are available, or your active quests that are available. You can actually do the said thing, and then you will get rewards based on completing it. For quick access, you can go on the left side of the screen here, and you can click the various vendor right here that has the quest available, or that you have active quests for, which is great quality of life thing, so you don't have to go through and click each one to figure out what you need to do. One critical thing to understand about games like this is there are things called fetch quests. Basically, a fetch quest is you need to go get said item and come back. A lot of times these items are things that you can either find from salvaging items in your stash, or you can actually find them in topside and whatnot. However, there's a vendor in here in the trader section that will reward you with specific items here for seeds. You can use this to trade for things like wires or things like that. So let's just say you need 8 wires. Rather than you having to go topside, you can just buy them here and then complete the quest right there without even needing to go topside, which is actually very nice. But the biggest thing about it is that with quests like this, it's best to just grab everything in the beginning stages, because you don't know what we're going to need, because the quests aren't fully fleshed out right now. So it's just best to grab everything, because you never know when you need something, because a lot of them will say can be used for quests, can be used for crafting, things of that nature. So overall, the best practice for this with the questing in this game is to hoard materials, hoard certain items, so that way you can just complete those quests without needing to go topside at all. Now, again, as I mentioned, there are various vendors for different items. You have one for weapons. You can go down here on the left side again for quick access. This one's going to have keys and all sorts of different things like that, it seems like. This one's going to have gadgets, obviously, and then there's also one for meds. You can sell things for coins that you extract from topside and then buy items here. That's one way to do it, or you can craft them from your workshop. So you have a couple different ways of getting items in the game. One final thing for the traders is that these items are limited. Well, most of them. The ammo and stuff is things you can buy quite a bit of, but this shotgun, for example, is going to be limited to 3 per restock, and it's going to take 12 hours for this particular item to come back once you buy it. Raider decks are going to be very similar to a battle pass or a war bond if you're a Helldivers 2 player, and basically you can go into these and just buy all sorts of cosmetics. There's attachments attachments like silencers, consumables, and all sorts of different things. You can purchase these raider decks by using raider tokens. Basically, these are the currency in the game that's paid. I do believe you can earn them in game, but don't quote me. I'm not 100% sure, but if you can, we'll see when the game actually launches. And you actually can purchase things within the raider deck using cred. Basically, they're that little blue resource up here at the top. And you can earn cred by completing feats. You're going to be assigned these different feats that refresh every 20 hours, and you can earn the particular currency right there, and then you can use those to buy whatever items you want from these particular raider decks. Overall, again, I'm not sure if this is going to be something that you're going to need to pay for every time, or if it's going to be similar to a game like Helldivers 2 where you can earn the raider tokens in game, or maybe from feats and things like that. We'll see when the game comes out, but for this particular moment, we're going to assume they're just paid options. And then, of course, there's going to be an in-game shop. You can buy cosmetics and all sorts of various things like that. Really self-explanatory in every game that we play, but a lot of these cosmetics are going to be pretty cool on launch. All right, so now for one of the more important tabs as well is going to be your stash and your loadout selection. So starting off in the top left here, you can actually expand your stash with currency. So basically, you can use coins in the particular server slam. I'm not sure if it's going to require different types of material and resources as we further expand, but you can do this by spending coins, and then you'll be able to expand your stash and make it quite large, which is actually pretty good because it's going to be nice to have extra stash space for all those things we're gonna have to hoard. There's also a merge stacks button. So essentially, if you have a bunch of things loose in here and you just don't want to go through the arduous task of having to combine them, press the merge stacks and it's gonna clean it up nice and tidy for you, which is extremely nice quality of life. There's also a unload backpack option in your stash, and also when you extract a raid. So basically, this is going to unload everything in your particular backpack. Really self-explanatory, but it's a nice quality of life thing to have that, because if you don't want to just drag over and everything like that, it just makes it so much easier. Very, very nice for people who play a lot of extraction shooters. You know exactly what I'm talking about. There are some macro and quick movement things that you can do within your stash, so they're going to be located here at the bottom for reference. But this is just to showcase it quickly here. If you hold shift click, and this is mouse and keyboard, forgive me, I don't have a controller set up, but you can actually do this where you can click over items into your backpack, which is very nice. You can do the same thing to click them out. Now, if you want to split stacks of things, you can actually do this here in your stash, or you can do this here in your backpack. You're just going to hold Alt and drag it down. You can split this into as many stacks as you would like, which is very nice. And then when you actually unload this into your backpack, it will nicely merge them together into whatever stack. And then you can do the same thing here in your stash. Like I mentioned, you can just sort things out, merge back whatever you like. So that's very good. Now, if you want to select multiple items for sale, for example, you can actually hold down Control on mouse and keyboard, and you can actually just click as many items as you would like, right click, and then you can sell 7 items, for example, and these will sell for whatever their value is. And you can, this is actually a really nice quality of life thing to sell items very quickly. For some quick access to some things you're looking for in your stash, you can just click all, or you can just go through the specific categories to get through things very quickly. If you're looking for like a shield, for example, you can just click your shield box, shields will pop up. If you're looking for an augment, augments will pop up, weapons, attachments, so on and so forth, quick use items. It's very nice and very sophisticated to be able to isolate which items you're looking for. When you're applying attachments to a weapon, you can either drag them on or drag them off, or you can actually just go in here and right click and then press detach mods, and it will put them here, and then you can just drag them on or whatever you want. Some key things to understand about items in your stash, more specifically materials, is that these can be recycled down into smaller parts. So basically, if you need more of this crude explosive, you can just come up here and right click the explosive compound and recycle it down into the crude explosive. You can also sell the thing outright too, which is a lot of times more value if you're looking for quick coin, but a lot of times it's going to be better just to recycle it down to its base parts, because a lot of the materials are harder to find topside. If you're wondering what the hell the item even does, you can highlight it here, and for example, this durable cloth will craft into herbal bandages and sterilized bandage, and it will tell you where it can actually be found. For example, this can be found in medical and commercial areas, and it will tell you its overall things it can sell for. If you right click it, it will tell you even further what it breaks down into, which is recycles into fabric. So all that information is very, very useful for being able to find items that you're going to use for crafting or everything in the game. If you want to get some more information about the weapon, you can actually right click it and press inspect. This is not only going to give you a full detailed breakdown of the weapon and all the various things going on with it, including what it recycles into, but it's also going to give you the available mods list here. So if you're looking for a mod quickly, you can just come up and drag it in. So some things to keep in mind with your weapons, with your shields, and even your augments is that you're going to need to repair these over time. So basically, you're going to come in here, press the repair button, and these will degrade over time. Even though, yes, you will have to repair them back to full and up to 100, they'll never be fully 100 after a while. Let me give you an example. So for example, this particular weapon right here, it's already losing some of its durability right here on the far right. So basically it's going to lose its overall maximum durability. So if I were to repair this, it would say 100%, but at the end of the day, it's never going to be fully 100%. So weapons will eventually fully break and you can't use them again. This goes for shields as well. I think I have a couple shields in here that are broken. This one, for example, is also broken, and it's going to have a big section that's not going to be ever fully the same. So it's always best to maybe recycle these into arc circuitry or things like that so you can build a new one, and then also you can actually repair these as well. So you got to play that give and take with these things because you can only run things for so long before they fully break, which is why you need to continue to craft things and repair things and have many different options as well. I'm going to quickly explain the different equipment slots. I mean, there's going to be more nuances and rarities and all sorts of different things when the game actually launches, but just to understand it very simply, augments are going to be things that enhance your character's capabilities, meaning that you're going to have more backpack slots, you can carry heavier shields, you're going to have more slots here in the quick use and the safe spot. For example, the looting one, the green version, right, is going to give you more backpack slots. So if I were to equip this, I have more backpack slots here. Now, if I were to equip this tactical one, this is going to not only give me more backpack slots, but it's also going to give me another quick slot, and also it's going to allow me to be able to wear medium shields. That's something else to keep in mind, is the looting one can only wear the regular green shields. Now the combat one can actually wear the heaviest shield in the game, and will also give me a couple of extra backpack slots, which is nice, and it will also give me no extra slots as well in quick use or save pocket. Now again, when the game fully launches, we're going to have different rarities of these various things like that are going to give us more backpack slots, give us more safe pocket slots, give us more quick use slots. So overall, there's going to be more of these and probably some other augments that we don't even know are in the game yet. I spoke about shields very briefly, but they're going to be multiple different kinds of shields. I know 3 for sure. We're going to have light, medium, and heavy. Now these are going to give you different protections. Like medium, for example, is going to give you more damage resistance at the cost of movement speed, and then light is also going to give you some damage resistance, but it's going to make you a little bit more squishy. So depending on which one you put on, you're gonna be able to do there. Now again, just to reemphasize, if you're running something like the looting one, you can actually run this particular shield. However, if you're trying to run a looting one and a medium shield, you can't do it because the looting one does not allow you to take a medium shield. But if you are to run combat, you can basically run any version of shield in the game. Now again, the medium one is going to be better for overall protection, so that's probably going to be where most people go. Heavy is going to make you overall slower, but again, with some of the skill tree things you get, this will actually help benefit you when you're actually in encounters as well. So for the quick use things, these are going to be things that appear in the wheel that you can actually select within the game. So these are going to be things like medical supplies, shield rechargers, grenades, other consumables and things like that that you can actually use to heal yourself or use against other players. The safe pocket is going to be where you can hide valuables. So if, for example, if I want to bring in this Raider hatch key, I can just put that in there. And basically when I die, or if I die at all, this will not be touched and it will come out with me. And it's a good just in case I don't want to die with this particular item. So if you find something very valuable in the game, you can actually put it there. You cannot put weapons or things like that within this slot. You can also not put shields and stuff like that. So it's very limited to just items that are rare or things that you want to put in there, like, I don't know, some sort of material that you don't want to die with, like a crude explosive or something. So that's pretty limited on what you can put in there, but essentially that's going to protect anything that you want to bring out of the raid. To start a raid, you have a couple of different options here. If you're going in solo, you're going to go in with other solo people, so you're not going to see teams and duos. Now you can squad fill as well if you do want to add another teammate or two as well. Now if you're in a duo, you will go against other teams of 2 and 3, so you can face up to 3 players in a duo. You can also squad fill as well if you are a duo. Now when you're actually selecting your raid you want to go to, we're going to have 5 different total raids we can go to. There's also a practice range where you can practice with weapons and things like that, so that way you can get a better feel for them and make sure they're actually good to go. But for example, if you are to select this damn Battlegrounds map, which has been available for the Server Slam, you will have a modifier on here, which is going to tell you what is going on. Basically, you're going to have this event active whenever you go in here. The Queen's going to appear. There's actually a loot cache nearby with a puzzle that you can do to be able to solve and get more loot and things like that. So it's quite valuable to go against the Queen, and there's going to be quests to take down the Queen as well. These modifiers are going to change throughout the weeks, the days, whatever. It's going to be different every time you log into a raid almost, and you can actually inspect and click the map here to get an idea of what the map looks like if you're just curious. Also, there's going to be an alternative version of the map. For example, the electrical storm version of the map is coming up in 2 hours and 46 minutes. This is going to add a different effect to the map. It's going to increase the loot. It's going to increase certain types of things available, going to increase the arc presence, whatever. There's also a night raid as well as other things. Each map is going to have unique ones as well that are going to be specifically for that map. Now, when you're ready to raid, you're going to press this confirm button, and you can have 2 different options here. You can go in with the kit that you've created, or you can choose this free loadout. What the free loadout is basically a randomized basic kit. You're gonna have grays and other things like that. You can go in, you can kill other players, you can just loot high value spots or whatever you extract. You'll have everything that you went in with, including the weapons and things like that, to be able to use for whatever you want, for the hideout upgrades, or you can just sell everything if you want, if you're just going for a money run. So this gives you a free loadout to be able to do whatever you want with. This is unlimited as well. You can just keep doing free loadouts as much as you want. You don't have to worry about a time limit, very similar to other extraction shooters, which is very nice. So it's kind of a low risk thing. But one other thing too is that if you are running a free loadout, your quest progress does carry over. So if you want to do a quest while you're in a free loadout, so that way you don't have to risk a piece of gear, like let's say it's a high traffic area, but you don't want to risk a kit, you can just go in, do the quest, and then extract with whatever you need, or just finish the quest with your free loadout as well. So it's got quite a bit of utility there. Once you've confirmed that you want to go custom loadout or free loadout, you're going to go into a raid and have a good time. There's tons of things to do topside. Anyways, I appreciate you guys watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content similar to this. But anyways, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.